Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of BlacKkKlansman. Naturally, I was pretty excited to see this film, but I did have my reservations. First of all, Spike Lee has definitely been hit or miss for some time at this point in his career. So, you don't really know, are you going to get an awesome film that provides both entertainment and message, or one that just can't seem to find the balance with either? And then admittedly, those trailers looked just a bit hokey for my personal taste. They seemed really jokey and a little bit too much on the comedic side. So I had reservations heading in, but let me tell you, they were all for naught because I absolutely loved this film. So let's go ahead and kick off with the mini positives. Well, Spike Lee is in top form here. I might say this is one of his best films of his entire career. Certainly the best work he's done in 10 plus years. It is so good. This is Spike Lee at his finest. I actually don't know that he makes films that get much better than this, period. It really does balance a big entertainment factor, but never, not for a single frame, does it lose sight of its end message and what it's about. Clearly, this movie tells a true story, but it does so much more than that. What I think Spike Lee does so wonderfully with BlacKkKlansman is tell the story and without ever overtly shoving your eyes to the present, perfectly draws those parallels to the present. Time and time and time again. The entire story is on a parallel track without ever grabbing it and pushing it in the audience's face. But the parallels are there, and they are fairly obvious if you just look a little bit and you just have a knowledge of the time and current events. And that's what makes the ending of this film, where we do turn and switch to present day and future, so impactful. And the way it's done is just masterful, in my opinion. This is not a neutral film, and it never intended to be a neutral film, but it says what it needs to say with so much conviction, so much power, and so much finesse that it's just expertly done. And this film is just a film of parallels that are so beautifully done. One scene I want to highlight in particular that I found to be incredibly impactful is we have a civil rights leader telling a story of a young man being killed publicly, very brutally, while the KKK are having their initiation. And they are simultaneously chanting white power and black power. And what this scene so beautifully does is correlate the fact that one of these chants is rooted in hurt, is rooted in sadness, is rooted in tragedy, is rooted in being murdered and being beaten and being dehumanized, while the other is being chanted in being the abuser, being the brutalizer. And it was just so heart-wrenching to watch, but it was so powerful and impactful to see. And this film is littered with moments like that. We get these really well-constructed, powerful shots of just faces as we hear speeches against a solid background, and multiple faces coming in and out as we hear the monologue. And Spike Lee puts shots together so impeccably well, whether it's a transition and suddenly we're in a different location while we're still hearing the monologue from the previous shot, to just inserting straight up shots into the scenes. And they're all done so purposefully, and they are creating a very powerful experience. But we also deal with police brutality and how that correlates to modern day, and I think that that was also obviously very well done. And within the police force, racism was so well handled. There was the overt racism that we got to see, But we also saw the other type of racism that is present. The okay, I'm saying I'm on your side. I'm not an out and out in your face type of racist, but I'm in power, and what I care about is actually what's going to be happening, whether or not that's in your people's best interest. And then those roadblocks that are constantly being put up, like, congratulations, we're so proud of you, good job, you did your job, but now we're going to put this there too. Now succeed with this new job, and if you do, that's wonderful. And I mentioned earlier that the film does not even attempt to be neutral in any way, but I do think it handles the black side of the issue very well as well. The Black Power movement, the Black Panther movement, and what that all looks like, and inner struggles within Black America in particular at that time. But honestly, again, very relevant to what's happening today. All of it is just done so well, and I have to give Spike Lee so much credit for crafting such a sophisticated, intelligent, well-crafted, powerful piece of work. I also want to give credit to the actors because I think they were all fantastic. John David Washington plays our lead. Oh, he was so good in this movie. He's so charismatic. He just shined on the screen throughout the entire film. Adam Driver was fantastic in this movie. All of our supporting characters were great. Obviously, those two kind of hold the film up, but everybody on the cast did a great job. The writing was spectacular. As I said, the cinematography sometimes got a little bit grainy, I will say that, but overall the shots are just so well constructed. I loved the music used in this movie. I thought it was used so beautifully, a little bit dramatic of a flair at times, but everything from that music to the way it's utilized in scenes, to those cut shots, to the little bit more indie feel, a little bit more blaxploitation film feeling of the movie, it all was very in line with Spike Lee at his best. So if I have to search for negatives of this film, I'm going to be honest, I did struggle a little bit thinking back to what the film might have done differently or better. And one negative I think that might be derived from the film, especially early on, I think it does take a little bit to find its footing in creating a comedic, entertaining tone that is still about the topic and is still about the issue. Creating this biopic that translates further out and still maintains an entertaining film. It definitely gets there, but I think at the beginning you can kind of feel that it's feeling itself out to find its own footing. You do have dramatic shifts throughout, but I wasn't jarred by them personally. My only other real negative, I think, is a purposeful negative, honestly, from the filmmaker standpoint, to further illustrate how stupid David Duke is, as well as the other Klan members, but is the fact that, I mean, these two didn't even attempt to change their voice. They just straight up talked the entire film. And it just was a little bit like, oh, so we're not even going to try a little bit. So I wish maybe there was at least an attempt, even if you kept it obvious that this is not the same person. But overall, I think this is a nearly perfect film. I really, really think this is a fantastic movie that everyone should see. So clearly my rating is a full price ticket. It is so well crafted. It has so much to say. You get the message, but you're also entertained throughout. So definitely, definitely a full price ticket for BlacKkKlansman. So that is my review of BlacKkKlansman. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see BlacKkKlansman, or have you already seen it? If you have, let me know your thoughts either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!